Hi, my name's Eric Watercutty, and today I'm going to present to you Technology as an Instrument. This talk was inspired by the article titled Machines Are Dumb, published in Campus Technology, an online journal, and written by Trent Baston. The technology revolution really is misnamed. It's more like a human revolution. Think about it. In the past couple of decades, we've learned how to write and communicate in new ways, think with our fingers, connect with our world, and use an entirely new set of tools for doing so. What I'm going to do today is draw a connection or attempt to between musical instruments and how we learn to perform with musical instruments and how that same kind of approach should really be taken with technology rather than always assuming that technology is going to magically do it all. Technology doesn't do it all, even though we frequently buy into the kind of razzle dazzle sales pitches given by technology sales folks. Here's a great image. It's the inside of a cockpit of a modern aircraft. And this is about as complex and as intelligent as machines get these days with autopilot and all sorts of things like that. But really, without human beings, this machine isn't all that smart. The point is, when the technology and the human beings and their abilities and capabilities come together, that's where the magic happens. Machines aren't doing all the work. It's really, us human beings that are putting the thought into these things and making them happen. So this tech hype can often lead to fear because we see technology as the agent of change rather than human beings. So emergent technology can make us think that the machines are rising. This is a scene from Matrix Revolutions where Neo is approaching, has gone to Machine City and was talking to the master computer. I like this picture much better because it kind of illustrates how when we play our instrument effectively, we can engage the learner, in this case, this young boy in the photo. Um, we wouldn't assume that if we bought a piano or a harp that we could sit down and perform Chopin or a master harp piece. It takes practice, and that's frustrating, and it's okay to be frustrated. So if we let go of this fear that machines will take over and all these things, we can kind of limit our own personal resistance in adopting potentially very useful tools. We have to recognize that humanity, we are the real change agents in this equation. The hype needs to be focused on us. What new abilities will we discover through technology, and what will we develop within ourselves? In this picture, it's a great example of a guy practicing the piano. How often do you really sit down and practice using technology that you want to use in the classroom or in an online class? Something to consider here. So basically, we want to not fall into the trap of thinking that dumb machines will do it all for us and constantly poking holes in useful tools because they don't do it exactly the way we want all the time. If we can just learn to practice and adapt, we can make some pretty magical things happen. So here's a common tool set for the modern classroom. We've got a classroom response clicker, a calculator, a recorder, a laptop, a projector, a smart board, tablet. All these things are great, but they're only as great as the instructor using them and how effective that instructor is. Here's an example of a modern, very modern classroom where an instructor is up using a smart board to communicate to students. It looks like a pretty complicated topic going on there. So fundamentally, when we look at technology, we need to first identify a purpose, goals, and sort of outcomes, and then relate those to the technology and help the students understand how it all fits together and what we're trying to accomplish. In this picture, it's great because we're seeing an instructor sort of show some kids how to use an instrument, the guitar, and sort of exposing abilities and new ideas to those students. Here's a classroom, a modern classroom of students engaged in the Flat Classroom project. They're actually Skyping or using voice over IP technology to communicate with a class in Australia. And, when we effectively use these tools and learn to perform with them, we can awaken some incredible potential within students, young or old. It doesn't matter what age we work with. So, what are you going to perform? How are you going to practice for that performance? And when it does come together, what outcomes and new abilities are you looking to awaken and inspire in your students? If we focus on our role rather than the machine's role, we can arrive at accomplishing these goals much quicker. Here's an instructor or a lecturer who has become comfortable enough with their tool set that they're communicating with a very large audience. And judging from the looks on the audience's face, they look like they're pretty captivated to me. They look like they're engaged and possibly really thinking. This is Charlie Parker. He once said that, master your instrument, master the music, and then forget all that BS and just play. So that's what we want to do. We want to just forget all about this stuff at the end when we get up to perform and just let the tools perform and perform with these tools. So to quote the article, when we forget that machines are dumb and therefore expect miracles and agency from them, we falter and make incorrect, misleading conclusions. We are the smart ones, the ones in control, and we are the revolution and the emergent miracle. So I hope that helps you, and thank you for listening to my first ever Pachachka style presentation.